Welcome back, everybody, to SlothLabs Builds, where today we're building Dunder Mifflin.
From The Office.
Everybody knows where that's from, Justin.
Dunder Mifflin is a real building, actually, and we were able to look at real-world images of this building to determine what it looks like, rather than having to watch the show, even though we did continuously watch the show. We also know that there are other offices within this building, such as Vance Refrigeration, but we decided to focus just on the office by actually scaling the interior up so you can fully see it take up the entire floor.
All right, after we got the model, we're gonna move on to laser cutting. We cut all of the pieces out of acrylic and styrene. The cut times for everything came out to around 42 minutes. This laser is very quick. Once we have all the pieces cut, we move on to peeling the film and prepping them for paint. Now we're gonna move on to a base assembly. Here we're gonna be gluing all of the interior walls onto the floor slab, as well as gluing the interior stairs and the site.
So anywhere that there's a seam, we also actually want a putty, because these exposed seams, we don't want to see them on the final paint, as you wouldn't see that in real life. So with a little bit of putty and some sanding, when we spray paint, it'll go away. This first coat of primer paint, for some is black, but for most of this area, it's actually blackout paint. It's a primer, yes, but it also helps to make sure that our light does not transmit through the walls or roof.
And after the blackout paint is dry, we're gonna install all of the styrene siding for the exterior facade.
Now we're going to spray the building white, as most of the interior is already white, and it's a good base color to start from.
Then we're gonna move on to the other spray paint colors, which are the mullions, the exterior facade, the roof, as well as the site.
To add more detail to the exterior facade, we applied a wash to the spray paint and also hand painted some of the interior walls.
All right, now we'll move on to 3D printing. We're actually very excited to say we have a new investor in SlothLabs, and they gave us this beautiful 3D resin printer.
Yeah, it was a great birthday gift from your dad, wasn't it?
Dude, shut up. They don't need to know that. Anyways, we're really excited about this print quality. It comes out super high detailed, and we can get all of the furniture pieces and a lot of the detail into the office itself.
But we still have to paint a primer over these detailed parts. That way when we hand paint, our paint will adhere to them.
The beauty of resin printers is that these have such high quality in their layers. They're super, super thin. So all you have to do after a print is really dip them in an isopropyl alcohol bath and lightly sand, and they're ready to go.
So you can see that we did a few that we could spray paint, but the majority was hand painted for that extra little touch of detail. Sloppy detail, but it gets cleaned up over layers and layers and layers.
It eventually looks nice, yes.
So for this project, we actually built the LEDs into the floor slab itself, since we want to both light up the first floor entry and the office interior.
right, now we move on to the interior. What we're going to be doing right now is installing this carpet. We actually found this great cardstock material that is very closely resembling the carpet in the office itself. So here we are just gluing and applying everything after we laser cut these pieces precisely to fit the floor plan.
Yeah, the cardstock even had a nice texture on it too, which really made it look like woven carpet.
Yeah, it was a lucky find.
So after we lay down the last piece of carpet, we can move on to detailing those interior walls with the mullions and those colored styrene pieces.
Yeah, this really makes that interior pop. It's going to add a lot more color to Michael's office and the conference room. It's kind of separating them from the interior colors of the walls, which is great. I hate myself.
We hate you too. We had to listen to that.
Now that all the interior styrene for the walls is done, we're going to install the door trim and window trim.
These just allow an added layer of depth for more detail. So you can see we're applying this pretty rough to the model or quickly, but that's all because this glue that we use is easily removed and water soluble.
Yeah, these close-up shots look awesome until you focus in on the detail and see all the little sloppy things we do along the way, but we promise we clean up nicely.
The model too.
Yeah, the model. That's what I was talking about. So for doorknobs, we use these little sticks that we cut into little pieces. They came a little out of scale, and in hindsight, we should have printed some awesome detailed doorknobs, but you know, whatever.
So we have all those details done, and we can begin placing all those beautiful DLP hand-painted, high-detailed 3D printed parts on our interior floor slab.
Mwah. Beautiful. All right, here's most of the interior floor slab done. Now we're gonna move on to assembling the first floor onto the site.
Well, let's admire this for a second.
No, move on.
Okay, so now we're gonna just focus on the ground floor. That way our floor slab has something to sit on. And we're gonna detail just this front entrance where the security desk is. So we'll lay down carpet like we did on the first floor and begin constructing the walls.
After we do that, we're gonna install the curb and the front facade. Whoa, look at those cool windows. You're totally not looking at that gray blotch on that facade. Totally not. Look at the cool windows in detail. All right, after the exterior shell is mostly complete, we're gonna move on to detailing the interior of the warehouse. Enjoy these views because we didn't light this area for some reason, so you won't be able to see it that much, but enjoy, it's there.
Yeah, this is the last shot of that area, most likely. Oh,
Goodbye, warehouse.
Okay, everybody remembers what it looks like. Good, we can move on.
At least people know we did it, okay? There's something there.
So as you can see right now, we're just sliding in the floor slab and the area that houses the LEDs, which also makes up the roof for the first floor.
And then after that, we're gonna slide in the interior floor, the floor plan of Dunder Mifflin
From The Office.
on CBS or NBC.
No, on SlothLabs YouTube channel.
Peacock.
No.
All right, after fishing the LED through the little slots we have, we actually made this little office plaque to fit in the floor plan as well. All right, now that the floor slab's in and secured, we're gonna move on to sealing it in with the final exterior walls.
Oh look, we did get another shot of the interior warehouse.
Yeah, you get to see the boxes. Bye, boxes. Yeah, some of you eagle-eye viewers are probably like, whoa, where did that staircase come from? Yeah, we completely forgot to put it in when we first shot the floor plan, and then we kind of just said, fuck it, so.
And now we can add those last pieces to the interior, such as the styrene colored walls and any additional furniture pieces that we didn't want to put in until we were up against the wall.
All right, we're finishing up all of the interior details, and now we're gonna move on to the wood frame.
It starts with the wood shop, which means going outside and picking out our saw.
Nah, it's a wood shop, it's beautiful. Just imagine a big, beautiful space. After we cut the pieces to size, we sand them smooth and prep them for lacquer?
Lacquer? No, we just prep them for a seal.
A seal.
Yeah.
I love this.
Seal.
Fuck this. All right, now that the pieces are done, we're gonna secure them onto the site. You can see we added some wood supports underneath as well to elevate the site up and give us enough room to glue it onto the frame as well. So you can see that the frame is kind of a weird shape. We actually took the property lines from where the actual building is and used that as reference for our frame design.
After tilting up the frame and securing it to the site, we're actually able to use these new clamps that we found were pretty awesome, that just use a rope and tension to hold everything together.
It's not a rope. All right, now we're gonna move on to the vegetation. This was actually kind of fun. We picked up some green moss, it was really nice, and we 3D printed a base for a tree. After that, we just applied some glue onto it and then just applied the moss on top, and they came out fantastic.
So now we can secure the vegetation to the site. This includes some of the curb grass and also some of these vegetated walls you see. These vegetated walls were simply just made with a small piece of laser cut acrylic, and then we applied a grass foliage to it with a bunch of glue and sprinkling it on. The last bit of vegetation is going to be the trees that Alex professionally made, or grew.
They kind of look like nugs. I mean, I don't know what nugs are.
What's a nug, sir?
Anyways, after finishing off the rest of the details, we could finally say this build is complete. Man, I gotta say, those final shots came out fantastic. Thank you all for joining us on today's second build where we took on Dunder Mifflin.
This model was a complete different feeling from the first one. I mean, they were both great, but the detail we were able to do and what I thought was ingenuity by being able to rotate the plan and scale it up to show more detail was truly fun and came out fantastic.
Yeah, this brought us back to our roots, to when we actually used to work in a shop that built architectural scale models just like this one.
You mean when I was your boss?
Nah.
If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe below.
Yeah, and also make sure to leave a comment down below and let us know what you'd like to see built on future episodes.